Hello, this is Rich with breathingwiththemarkets.com. It's January 12th, 2025. I have Martin Butler here from London. He wanted to talk about his week. We'll go ahead and let him speak. Go ahead,
All right.
Martin.
How you doing?
Good. All right.
Yeah, good. Very positive. So, as we spoke last week for the other video, you mentioned with your other mentees a saying which was quite good, and that was once they taste blood, you can't keep them away. And I guess that's what's happened. So, all week I've been practicing, uh, learning from what you've taught me. Sit here a lot and go over things like you've told me to do and see it and keep practicing, if you want to call it that. And then on Friday, I was at work. Now, bearing in mind, I'm very limited with the time I have to trade and the equipment I have because at home here I have the desk, but can't always do that when you're out at work. So yeah, market open ended up at 2,600 up in profit. Weirdly, I was ultra confident. Like the thing that you talk about is the confidence. You know, you've got a lot of confidence doing what you're doing. I didn't. I had none, and now it's grown to a level within the past week that you can't really put into words, but I'm no longer scared. There's no more FOMO. I'm no longer guessing. I'm no longer entering a trade and hoping. It's just a pre-programmed objective thing that I'm doing that you've taught me. It's brilliant. I ended the day, if you like, at that, came home from work, picked up my daughter, sorted the house out, turned the computer on, and the same things are appearing in front of me so much. It's very hard it's very hard to unsee it once you've seen it. So then over the course of about half an hour, I ended up taking the account up to 3,800 and something dollars. And I thought, wow, this is some serious stuff. I'm not even pushing it. I'm not in at max contracts. I'm using quarter of what I have available to me. If I wanted to, I could use 4 times the position size. And I'm thinking, Jesus, if you can make that kind of not so much profit, but that step that quickly after a week or so of you teaching me, then where the hell am I going to be in 6 months or a year or next year or even next week? Yeah, so I think I took 8 trades that day and I had 100% hit rate. I've never had that before. It's always been a gamble, and now it's it's no longer that. It's purely just using the knowledge you've given me, putting it into practice and moving forward. And that's quite scary. It's quite overwhelming to think that no, I don't expect to get 100% hit rate back. It's not by chance or luck. It's purely by a skill that you've taught me that I can now put into practice every single day. So yeah, that was it. I, under your mentorship, I will proceed forward to the next level when you say I'm ready, when you say, Mark, I think it's time that you go and do this. I'm not pushing it, but it's a very exciting time to be where I am, because if it's that quick, what's it going to be in a week or a month's time?
Let me ask you a few questions. When you first started trading approximately 2 years ago, and you were in your first week, I mean, were you actually ever on a demo account that first week also, or what were you doing that first week 2 years ago? And then compare that to now. I do not teach what they teach on the internet or YouTube overall, anyways. What is your psychology or where you see yourself compared to where you saw yourself 2 years ago within your first week?
It's completely different. It's the opposite end of a coin, if you like. 2 years ago, I didn't understand or have a clue. You know, if a candle's going up, then we buy, right? And that's what you do. And then you lose, and the candle's going down, you sell, because that's the most obvious thing. Price is going down. Went from demo to live pretty quickly, and I did have a couple of good, lucky trades that netted £700-800, and I thought, this is it. I'm going to be a millionaire. I no longer need to work. I'm retiring. After those winning trades came the series of losses upon losses upon losses upon losses, until you think, hold on a second, this is my savings, this is my money, I've worked hard for this, what am I doing? And then it makes you kind of revert back in like a turtle. And you think, no, I don't want to do this anymore. Then you come off the live, then you go to demo, then you still struggle. The difference between then and now is going from zero confidence and thinking this is impossible to having 99.9% confidence in myself. It's more believing that it's actually real. I feel like I'm inside the computer program telling the candles what to do because I'm not guessing. It's like I'm going, no, we're going up and I'm going to buy and oh, yeah, I'm correct. Thank you. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll have that. Oh, look, we're going down. Yeah, I'm going to sell. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I'll have that as well. And it's every trade. Now, I know I'm not going to win them all. That's impossible, I think. But so far, yet to see how I'm supposed to
Yeah, it's
lose.
impossible to win them all. Yes.
But it does feel like that because you could any watching out there could say, oh, it's just luck. I can take 8 trades in a row. The next 8 will be losers. No, no, they won't because I won't be entering unless they're going to be winners, which is really, again, we've spoken about this before on other calls about a cocky sense of confidence. It's not cockiness. If you had seen what I'd seen, if you'd been taught what I'd been taught, then it's the highest probability, which come Friday was 8 out of 8. So tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow will be the same market that it was last week and the week before. And the same things are going to repeat and the same opportunities are there. And the only way I could get it wrong is do the opposite to what you taught me. And then I'd be like everyone else without being rude. One other thing with the practicing, I predominantly trade NAS, as you know. I don't do Forex anymore. I'm just on futures, excuse me. You told me to trade anything you like, kind of look whatever. So today, I've had a look at platinum, gold, soybean, live cattle, lean hogs, whatever that is, Bitcoin. And every single, I don't know what you call them, pair, chart, it's all the same everywhere. And I was having this chat with my son earlier about Bitcoin. Who wishes they invested in Bitcoin, right? If only we knew. I won't go into details, but I went on the daily and looked at Bitcoin, and it's exactly the same damn thing that it is on NAS and live cattle and gold and everything else. And I thought, wow, if only I knew what I knew then now, like, back then, I would have put a lot of money if I had it on Bitcoin because you can see what it's doing. It's like my eyes are open. I thought of it earlier how I could describe it. Imagine somebody gave you 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, right? Something that you've got to do as a kid. But before you're teaching, you're only allowed to do the jigsaw puzzle upside down, right? You can't see what's on the front. You've just got the brown cardboard at the back. That's all you're allowed. And your job as a trader without the tuition is to put these pieces of the jigsaw together, but you've got no idea where they go, and it'll take you years to fit them in because you've got no clarity, there's no vision, there's no understanding of what the picture is on the other side. Now the jigsaw's been flipped round. I don't know what the picture is, but it's simple. That goes there, that goes there, that goes there. And now 1,000-piece jigsaw comes down to probably 8 pieces. There's 8 or 9 pieces of jigsaw that I have to do before a trade, if you like. Once all that's done, I have the clear picture. The clear picture's in front of me. I complete my task. So interesting stuff that I saw today. I wrote a few notes down. That was what I was referring to it. But knowing what I know now, I'm absolutely itching to go to a combine. I don't even have any doubts that I can or can't do it. I don't not believe in myself or the system. I think it's more the speed of it. Is how quickly it's gone from the upside down jigsaw to the right way round, the puzzle has been completed.
So are you learning to gamble or are you learning to trade?
So learning to trade, there's no gambling in it anymore because of the system. It's objective, it's repetitive, it's the same thing, give or take the times, size, it's everywhere.
And for the viewers and traders out there, I just want to make a comment. I know that the mentees get excited and they it's kind of like a pit bull that takes a bite out of something and wants to just keep going back and hitting it hard. It is very important that when you do learn something and you start to see positive results through objective and a methodical way to trade, that still we must practice and we must continue to practice because the excitement can get in the way of and make some costly mistakes or shortcuts. And like I've said before, Martin, is that we continue to move forward on a daily basis. a weekly basis, and it has been a very short period of time, a week actually. Now I know the last market we thought was a week, but it was actually a few days after your initial 2-day mentorship event, and then you're on to your extended mentorship. But what's most important is that if once you can do something that's repetitive thousands of times, not hundreds of times, but thousands of times. And that is going to get you where you want to go in your life, whatever it may be. But we don't want to sprint, per se. We don't want to sprint. And as far as someone knowing whether you're ready or not, you as a trader will know whether you're ready or not, because you are basically responsible for what you do. There are some mentees that hit the road running or into the challenges and into the live funds per se. Like I said, is everyone has their own way of doing things. But what's most important is that you continue to practice each and every day, each moment that you may have some free time that's not taken away from your family or loved ones. Because the more that you look at a still chart and you do exactly what I teach you to do on that still chart, you're not going to forget it. How do you feel about that?
Incredibly powerful stuff. It really is. I had some expectations before doing the course with you. I knew you were bloody good at it. I didn't know how good. And we laugh and joke and say, I say often that I actually think you wrote the program. You're that good at it that you might as well have been the inventor of candles, because you have this ability to see everything. You're like, you've got a million eyes. So my expectation was that I would learn to trade, but I didn't know to what level. I didn't expect it to be this easy for me to see with your team. You've made it very easy for me to understand. I absorb things like a sponge as well, and I'm passionate and I want to be successful in this industry. But the way you have taught, as I've said before on the other video, is like your uncle who's an electrician that teaches you, cut this wire, strip that, put that in there, tighten that up. Right, now you do it, and do it again, and do it again, and do it another 100 times until it's ingrained in your soul that that's the way you do it, and you don't do it any other way, and you don't change the system. You don't use a different screwdriver. You don't put the wire somewhere else. You don't mess around with it. And the teachings that you've given within a week, I don't know how long this was supposed to take me, Rich. I don't know whether it was 6 months, a year. We get told 4 or 5 years till you're profitable. I don't think I can get it wrong now. In fact, I know I can't. I might get the odd trade wrong, but overall, no way. No way will I make mistakes like I did, because this is objective. And you say it all the time, if you don't see it, you don't trade it. That's it. I sit and I wait. And when I see it, I trade it. Knowing that I don't know what the percentage is of the winning outcome, but so far it's been 100%. So I think in another week's time, when I come back to you, I know we've got a meeting next week, I'm bound to have taken a loss by then. But is it going to outweigh all of my wins? Not a chance. No. No.
And we don't want to focus. We don't focus here at breathingwiththemarkets.com. We don't focus on wins and losses, and we don't focus on the rewards. I want to make it very clear, this is a skill first channel. Therefore, if you don't have a skill and you don't have the skill, you shouldn't be in the market. And this is not a gambling session, never will be, never was. And we don't gamble over here. But our skill speaks for itself, and the outcome speaks for itself. And when you continue to trade and do exactly what I teach you, and as you know, you understand that I'm not afraid to give you constructive criticism, right? So if you ever bring up something about, well, what about this? And I tell you, that's old stuff, and we don't do old stuff. It's the new you, and we want to work on something that is objective in the market and something that is repeatable. Because if something is not repeatable in the market over and over and over again, then the probabilities go down and your opinions go up, and therefore your P&L goes down also when you have opinions, a hunch, and intuition in the market.
I remember before the education, a lot of my trading was opinion based. It wasn't fact because I didn't know, but I thought things would do this and price would go there. And I was proven wrong many times. And I don't argue with the market. I don't care where it goes. I'm not bothered in the slightest. I just waiting for it to tell me where it's going to go. And then once it's told me, I'll capitalize on that. How much I make is regardless. It's the fact that I spotted it, I took it, and it's made a profit, whether that be $1 or 1,000. Doesn't matter, because the money, as you say, isn't really that the money comes after your skill is built, and my skill is building. But I know that I have the capability of making an amazing, life-changing amount of money with what you've taught me. But as you said, I don't want to run before I can walk. So keep practicing, keep doing what you've told me to do, and just it was quite mind-blowing today going on. Just, I mean, I don't know anybody who the hell trades live cattle. Farmers, I don't know. And then lean hogs. I think that's a pig, right? But people trade that. And I could actually go on to lean hogs tomorrow or platinum. I'm not a fan of gold, but it's the same thing. And I could trade lean hogs if I wanted to, and I could still have the same outcome as I did on NASDAQ. I like NASDAQ because it's fast and there's lots of people when it's very volatile, and that's what we like. We don't want slow, pointless markets. It's boring, and I'm yet to find anything as good as NAS. I don't know about you.
Well, at this point in time, after everything that you've learned and that I've showed you that the market, in my humble opinion, is manipulated, how is it possible that every chart that you look at, different names, might be indices, Forex, different company names on the stock market, large caps, small caps, is the chart the same?
Yeah, scary. I never knew. But looking at it objectively,
You never knew it was the same.
No, I thought that, I said in another video that other pairs have got behaviors. No, they don't. They don't. Some are just bigger than others and some are more powerful than others. But behaviors, not really. They do the same thing. Just depends. If you take NAS New York Open, that's powerful. If you take live cattle at New York Open, it probably won't be as powerful, but it's the same thing, just probably smaller because there's less people trading it. But yeah.
So when we talk about the same thing, we're not talking about identical, obviously. They're not identical. And we're not going to get into the edge that I'm teaching you. But the point is, traders, if you're out there and you are with a mentor or an educator that is not able to explain exactly what is going on in the market, the chart itself, and you have a question and they say, well, you're going to get that over time, would it be correct to say that they don't know themselves and that's just what they tell the students? In your own words, how do you spoke to a lot of traders, you've been in different discords, maybe one or maybe more, and you've heard all of the traders communicate because it's like social media. Out of all of that information, it just seems like there's an issue with education.
Hugely.
Well, in your own words and your own experiences, describe to the traders how you feel or how you felt and how you feel about today, because there's no guarantees that you're going to be successful at it. We just understand that. But nobody can take away how you feel or your own opinions, but we're not trading on opinions.
Back when I started, I was told to backtest and journal. Every trade I take a before screenshot and after screenshot. A reason why I got into the trade and what happened, whether I let it run to the stop loss, whether it went to the take profit. Underneath that screenshot, I would give a brief description of what it was that I was doing and why I was doing it. I got in here because price bounced at support. What's that? And then the next screenshot is just dumped straight through it. And people might say, oh, you should have waited. You should have waited until it was confirmed. Well, I was on the hourly, if you get rejection on support and you enter, you go for it. You take that trade. So looking back there, the language, and I'm not going to go into, as you know, I'm not going to go into what you teach language-wise, but the language that I used back there, then the terms that I would refer to, the meanings behind the trades, I look at it and think, what the hell was I talking about? It doesn't make any sense at all. It made sense at the time because that was my level of teaching. That was where I was at, and I felt like I knew enough to trade, but it was never enough to make a profit overall. It was always, as I said before, one step forward, two steps back. So for any traders that are journaling, that taking before and screenshots and not really getting anywhere, you've got to ask yourself, is what you're doing working overall? Is it the right way to trade? Because if it was the right way to trade, it wouldn't take 4 or 5 years. Because that's what I was told. You need more time. It takes 4 or 5 years to get your head around the market and learn. No, it doesn't. No, it takes 2 days with the right person. And I know more in those 2 days than I have for the last 2 years. And this is the only time I've actually seen an objective way to trade that can make me grow as a trader. So anyone that is journaling, as I said, anyone that is taking screenshots and thinking that they're going to get there, then after a month or two, you're not getting anywhere, and then you change your strategy to something else, and you're still not getting anywhere, then you go, oh, do you know what, I'll try ICT. Do you know what, I'll try means reversion. I'll try this, overextended markets. What else was there? Trading wicks on 4-hour candles. If you get a closure and it leaves a wick, then you trade up to the wick of the closure. Whatever that was, I heard from some. There are so many different strategies and ideas. The problem is they all come from one big pool of information that is completely wrong. So then what you were trying to do isn't going to work and has never worked. And any trade that you've ever got into, based on what I know now, back then was purely just luck and nothing else, a best guess. Because you bought there because price double bottomed. Great. Was you in the right direction of the market? Because it could have double bottomed and then continued to dump down and it failed. So that's not a reason to enter. So yeah, the difference between then and now is now I have objective reasoning with probability that's not just a 50-50. It's a damn sure up there with, in my eyes, a 99%, because no, nothing is guaranteed. But having a 99% edge over a 50-50 surely has got to be the right way to go, considering it just proves itself time and time again, regardless of the chart, regardless of the time, regardless of the pair. As your other mentees will know, they've obviously got it, and they're off doing their thing, tasted blood. And yeah, that's whoever wants to use Richard's service. If you fit his criteria, if you are the right type of trader, I think you will go incredibly far. I can't say why, I can't go into detail, but just take it from me that from back then to now, it's eye-opening stuff, and it really is.
So this video was, Martin was excited, which everyone's excited actually. I mean, everyone is truly excited, and I'm happy for that, because that's important to me, is that that everyone is excited about the mentorship going on at all different stages. But the number one goal for me and the mentees is to build a skill and to build on that skill. Here at breathingwiththemarkets.com, I'm not into sales pitches whatsoever. I didn't reach out to Martin and, coerce him in any way to do a video.
No, I came to you because I was confused as to why I kept getting it right.
Yeah.
Now that sounds ridiculous, because I expected to get it wrong for quite some time, and you come back to me and say, well, why did you buy there? And I said, well, because this, and you went, no, that's wrong. Go back and train some more. And because I've got it that quickly, I mean, that's a testament to your teaching, not me. Because I've understood you so well. Yeah, I was a little confused as to why I kept getting it right so quickly. I thought, it takes people. If I put a surgeon's gown on now and said, right, I'm going to go and do a heart transplant, what are the chances of that patient surviving? Because I know what I'm doing. But now I know what I'm doing with that, I feel like I'm a qualified trader. Does that make sense? I feel like I've just been to university and come out with a 10-year uni degree in how to trade in the fact that in 2 days. So yeah.
And what I don't want you to do is, I want you to be able to build upon this week's success rather than continue to risk higher, maybe get sloppy, not have the patience that you need for the setup, and then take a step back. Because it's important that I've always said this is me as a trader, and I teach the mentees is patience inside the market is much more valuable than outside. And to me, there's no such thing as over trading. If I have mentees that are trading every day or every other day, and they're talking about positive results, and I don't have a Discord because I believe Discords are nasty, toxic, and not a good area. I've been in Discords where people, you would think it was a porn hub. It's not okay. And then you bring it to attention to the moderator and they don't do anything about it. So we're about trading and we're about teaching a skill. Wherever that skill leads you is going to be up to you. And I don't know if there's anything else you want to add. I am hesitant to ask you a question because I don't want you to, a bold statement or anything else like
I'll
that.
be honest.
But I don't want to trap you. I don't want to trap you in the sense that, I don't know where you're going to be in a month from now. But have you ever had a payout like from a prop firm?
Failed many challenges. Got close within 100 or 200.
So
And then
you've never had a payout from a prop firm? So, and I'm not suggesting that you go into a prop firm. I just want to know so the viewers know too, because I'm sure that maybe one day, and I'll just say this, that the majority of traders that ever traded at a prop firm never ever get a payout. And that's not saying that you're not going to, but that is a really big, big, big deal. That's a big, big, big deal. And I don't even know what the percentage is. They say, I don't, or 97% maybe don't ever even reach a payout. And I believe that is from education, and I believe that's from gambling versus having an objective edge in the market. So today is January 12th, 2025, and I don't know where you're going to be a month from now in a sense of at what stage. But each and every day, if I could give anyone advice, is if you're seeing the market objectively to practice. I did a video on why journals suck. And I believe journals suck because what are you going to write down other than your opinion? And don't fool yourself that you're going to have a different opinion and you hold yourself accountable. If you hold yourself accountable, then quit guessing in the market because that's not accountability. And if you're going to hold yourself accountable, then stop following gamblers in the market. Because if they don't have an objective system in the market that truly exists, you're wasting your time, you're throwing your family's money away, and more than likely you're not going to make it and get frustrated. And partially that is your fault. If you want to follow gamblers, that's what you're going to turn into. If you have an endless supply of money, I guess it wouldn't matter to you. But those that come to breathingwiththemarkets.com, some are basically, we don't accept everyone. Also, I want to say that we don't accept everyone. In the program that I teach. But is there anything else that you'd like to say, Martin? I don't want you to make a bold statement and then feel like a failure, but where do you see let me give you 6 months, okay? Let me give you 6 months, and I know 6 months is a long time. If you look at a minute candle, that could be long too, right? But where do you see yourself in, let's say 3 months? Where do you see yourself in 3 months? And I don't reach for the stars because this is on video.
Yeah,
and it's not disappearing and it's not going anywhere. But where do you see yourself in 3 months based on what you know today? And our schedules change too, right? So don't reach for the stars, but what do you think?
When I watched your videos and when you would go onto Top Step on their website, you would have a list of green lines and it said, congratulations, trader, you have passed your combine. Congratulations, trader, you have passed your combine. Over and over and over and over again. I think, how is this man able to do this so quickly, so much? So where I see myself, and again, this is a delusional level of cockiness, but I don't see how I can't pass a combine now with what I know and what you've taught me. Will I get it wrong sometimes? 100%. I will get one wrong. Will it be a mistake? Will I over leverage? Maybe. If I don't want to ask you to let me go off and because I need to practice more, but I don't see how I can't do this now because I have the objective plan. Where I see myself in 6 months is a long time. 6 weeks maybe. I believe in 6 weeks, and I'll come back with proof.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
6 weeks, I'm coming back with a funded account. That's my promise. I believe I can do it. How many payouts I'll get, I don't know, but I will screenshot and give you proof. What's that I wanted to say? What is nice about your teaching is we're in different time zones. We're in different time zones. You're in America. I'm in England, London. I think you're 7 hours behind me, if that's right. But I can message you at any point with a screenshot, a question, and you answer it objectively and go yes or no, and here's why and here's not. And what's also really good of you is, and I'm telling the people here now, is Rich is very, very, very supportive in this, and he sends me, I don't know what the word would be, inspirational stuff that keeps me locked in and focused. A lot of quotes, a lot of things that keep your mind focused on what he's teaching you and thinking. I think they're called memes or whatever they're called, not memes, but they're little quotes from. I know you're a strong believer of Albert Einstein and his quotes and the things he says, but just believing in yourself. I think the difference between having a mentor and an education is that a mentor will make you believe in yourself, and an education, you just got to do it on your own. Whereas you actually make me think this is possible, and you show me that it's possible. And then not only have you shown me that it's possible, you've made me make it possible, if that makes sense. You've made me be able to make this possible. So 6 months is a long time. If I can, I mean, I don't even need that amount of profit to pass a combine. So if I just calm down a bit and take maybe 4 trades and use half the position size I was, so 2 micros instead of 4 or 5, then I'm going to pass it anyway. So I don't see how I can't. So yeah, I'm going to hold you to that 6 months or 6 weeks rather, or you hold me to it.
What do you mean you hold me to it? You're the one that said.
No, I'll hold myself to it. I'll hold myself to it. 6 weeks.
I'm trying to give you some room here. I'm trying to give you some room. You know, this is the thing. This is the thing about this. Okay, is you know, I thought he was going to buy it at least 6 months, and then I reduced it down to 3 months. 3 months is not a long time, but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you on the air, Martin, is I need to see, and you take pride in your work, but I need to see hundreds and hundreds of things that I've told you, and I need to see that because holding ourselves accountable is, you know, do I have any doubt in my mind on any of the mentees that they're not able to reach their goals? No, because they know who they are as a person. But I'm on the other side. And nothing is guaranteed. Read all the disclaimers. I make no promises. But what I do is I show you objective things in the market. I show you gems in the market. I show you how to set up everything in the market. And I leave no stone unturned. And if someone is able to do exactly what I say over and over and over again, they get it inside their mind. And there's a thing called, you know, mental visualization. And you continue to remember and see everything in the market as an entire picture of what is going on in the market. I mean, it'd be like looking out in a forest and then looking to your right, seeing a plume of smoke. Something that's out of the ordinary. Would you say that's kind of like looking at the market? Or what would you say in your own words about what I have taught you about when things are out of place, you should be able to give pause, understand why they're out of place.
You lost it. So but beforehand, what I couldn't see, I didn't know repeated. I just thought it was random. Price went up and down at different speeds at different times, but different. shapes, candles, whatever. Now I find myself looking at it and going, hang on, I've seen this before. I saw that yesterday, and I saw it the day before, and I saw it the day before. It's going to do that, and then it does that, and then I take the trade, and it hits the profit, and I go, I knew because I'd seen it. And that's the important thing with the practicing, is that you do it so much that it gets to a point where you're not saying, is that it anymore? You're going, that is it. I'm going to take the trade. There's no doubt in your mind. And that's the scary thing I said to you, that you've taken away the word FOMO and fear and replaced it with confidence and a surety. And that I didn't think was possible. I didn't think you could do that in trading. I thought it was just best guess and hit and hope and hold and fingers crossed, and that's how it goes. And you know, what was it? You let your winners run and you cut your losses short. That's impossible, because I cut my winners short and leave my losses running, hoping for them to come back.
How do you feel about that now? All of these
that's
friends your trend, you know, the trend is your friend. I let my winners run and cut my losers. That's so fucking generic.
Talking about letting your winners run, the scary point is every trade I took, I got out because I wanted to, because I'd hit what I felt was the right amount for that trade.
Yeah, we don't teach greed. We don't teach.
No, they all continued on, and I sit there and think I could have held, but no, I'm not going to, because I have what I wanted.
Yes, there's enough market. There's enough market for everyone. Unfortunately, all those that are gambling are on the other side of me and traders that I teach. Gamblers can be on the one side and traders on the other. That's what's going to happen, is traders are on one side of the market, gamblers are on the other side of the market, and then you know, people that just start to learn are in there giving their money up also. Unfortunately, the market is very, very evil. And a skill, and I want to make this very clear because this is very important, is that you haven't reached success just because, no, I don't know how to say this. I've said this over and over in all of my videos, or tried to say this, this is a skill first channel. If I could change one life or one trader at a time, that's okay. There's only one of me. So, you know, I don't have all the time in the world, but I'm very selective on who I will teach or not teach also. And it's important that we all understand that it's not about the money, it's about the skill. And God, I just don't know how else to say it, because
you hit the nail on the head.
The skill is the word.
No one can take that away from me now, Rich. What you've taught me, this objective way of trading, is I can't forget it. And there's one of the, not a comment, but something I've heard you say a few times before to me, and that is, they can take away everything, right? I can have no money. I could have nothing to trade with. I still have that same skill. Bit like if you're a plumber and someone steals your van and takes all of your tools and your livelihood. They can't take away your plumbing skill. You just have to get another van and a load of other tools. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is although I don't have anything to show for it yet, what I do have is knowledge that I now cannot forget. I know how to trade on I feel, a professional level with a hugely high probability for a decent success in this. Now you've taught me, and I hold that very high because I've proven to myself. And this is the thing, when Rich teaches you this mentorship, he's there with you every step, and he keeps on you. I mean, you're a hard teacher, but you're like having a dad that is.
Oh, hard teacher, huh?
Yeah, you don't let me off with anything. I will be not told off, but you'll put me on the, if I wander off this way, you go, no, come on, and you pull me back by my ear, and you put me back, you go, no, you're going this way. So I can't get it wrong, if you like, because you're always keeping me there. And every trade I've taken, albeit they've been on they're on my own. They're not, I haven't said to you, what do you think on this, Rich? Do you think this is,
what would I say if you say, what do I think?
You'd probably tell me to piss off and sort it like, yeah.
Exactly. Because I don't want to hear what I think.
Yeah, you would tell me that, look at it objectively. And because I understand it objectively, I
Mhm.
wouldn't need to send you that screenshot and say, do you think Naz is going long?
And you know how many traders that we've heard in discords where they say and they write, I think I'm waiting for another candle. I'm waiting for this to happen. I'm waiting for that to happen. It's not ready yet. But okay, it's not ready yet. What does that look like? I'm waiting for a candle. What does that look like? Oh, I'm waiting for the next high. What does that look like? Not one person can tell you what that looks like. No.
One of your best quotes was, I'm going to short it when it gets to that high. How do you know it's going there? And if you know it's going there, why aren't you buying it on the way up?
That's what I'm doing. I'm in the fucking trade. I'm going there. And everyone
Yeah.
else is just sitting there at the top going, looking down, going, we're going to short. We're going to short. And I fucking just go right through the goddamn all the way to the top. And all the traders in the Discord are like, man, we're losing. What's going on? It's a price. Because they're following gamblers. It's a gamble. If you know price is going somewhere, why aren't you in the trade, traders? If you're smart enough and you think you're smart enough to know where price is going, why aren't you in the trade? Do you think one trader, group of traders is going to turn this market down because it hit a high or a low? I mean, that's stupidity. Trillions and trillions of dollars in the market, and the algorithm in the market is manipulated. Of course, it's manipulated if it repeats itself, big and small, all over all the charts. Why wouldn't it be manipulated? So it's just mind-boggling that we've had so many traders that are out there following people, 6,000 views in their streaming live, and they're trying to explain what price is doing. And it's just, I gotta just turn this shit off, because what all of these 6,000 people are seeing, they don't know. They just want information. I understand. There's people that can't afford certain things, but they'll buy a $1,200 cell phone and they'll lose the cell phone and buy another $1,200 cell phone, but they won't pay for education, or they continue to purchase evaluations after evaluation after evaluation, and they spend 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 and still are gambling. Well, let me tell you something, traders. In 2025, it's already happening, and somebody's listening, because in 2024, I was ripped off by a lot of prop firms because they know I had a fucking trade. Do I know how to trade, Martin?
You do, but they don't like it.
They know I know how to trade. And if I had 20, $300,000 accounts, do you think they would pay me based on how I know how to trade?
Well, Fast Track stuffed you on your payout, didn't they?
No, it doesn't matter. Even the big one, the big houses, they wouldn't fucking pay me. No, they wouldn't.
Well, what we found out the other day, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to name the prop firm.
Well, hold that thought just a second, but hold that thought I want to finish this last point here.
Yeah.
2025, I doubt, I believe that a lot of these prop firms are squeezing their plans down, because all these eyes and regulators and everyone else, and there's a lot of lawsuits right now against firms, and they have to look for traders. They have to come up with a system that if you know how to trade, you're going to probably be in the game. If you don't know what a baseball field looks like, you don't go out and dress like you're playing football and go out there. It's just not going to work. You got to understand that if you go out to play baseball, you need to be on a baseball field, and you need to know where the lines are at. All the lines are, with the bases and the fence, are the rules of the game. So each time that we go and trade, there's specific rules that we have to live by, whether it be brokerage, prop firms, and all this stuff. It's none of their faults other than when they take advantage of traders, okay? But if you don't know how to trade objectively, you're going to probably have a very hard time eventually. I don't know. I just feel that I've made videos and I see people, there are people that watch and there are people that listen, there's prop firms that watch, that they continue to reduce shit down because I've been pretty much outgoing and said, if I stacked all those accounts, there would probably be a problem within the firm because it would be easy for me. It would be easy for me to have some really, really huge paydays because I know I have the skill. Not high gambling, but I could copy trade all of them. And I could do the same thing over and over and over again.
As I said, Friday, I didn't even go in with size. If I'd have gone in with size, God knows what I would have made that day. But I still would have won all the same trades. Still would have, they all hit the profit target and they were all taken for a reason. I just didn't use the size that I had available. You know, I think you mentioned it before. I won't mention any names, but there was a certain prop firm that made something like 17 or 19 million dollars profit in July last year. What does that tell you for the amount of people gambling for evaluations and combines? You know, it's a sad business, but that's the way it is. People want the dream, but they don't want to pay for the education to get them to the dream. They just want to get there themselves, and I tried, and you can't. And those that have passed prop firms and have got paid out, are you still being paid out? And if you are, then I take my hat off. Congratulations, well done. You have a system. I couldn't find that on my own, despite trying, despite reading, despite researching every damn.
I have a message for all of the traders out there. I have a message for all the traders out there. If you don't know how to trade objectively, you may want to learn really quick because
If they're open.
there are prop firms out there that are really squeezing the rules. And if you're out there gambling and windfall trading, and a windfall trade doesn't mean that you know what you're doing and then you make 15, 20,000 in that day. Because when you know what you're doing and you have your same setup, same edge in the market, it just works out that way sometimes. That there could be a spike in the direction that you wanted to go. But flat out gambling, they know who the gamblers are, and they know people that can actually trade the market. And they're doing a balance right now. They have to do a balance. And that's why the rules are, coming together and squeezing together. But I heard that someone else reduced their account sizes all the way down to 5 accounts maximum and stuff like that. So that 20 accounts, and then there might come a time where you might only be able to trade 1 or 2 firms maximum, or you might not be able to copy trade all these firms because there are literally, and there's people that stream on there all the time. They're actually gambling. They're telling you that they're gambling. Well, yeah, I have all these different names, and I'm copy trading all of them at the same time, and they talk about how much they made for the year, and it's a game for them. And if they're a gamer and they're making it, great. But those days are coming to an end. And you really want to learn how to trade objectively, whether you do it on your own or whether you find someone, it doesn't matter. But gambling's not going to get you there. And Martin, I wish you would give yourself some more time. You need to practice over and over and over what I said hundreds and thousands of times. That might seem like a lot, but you understand how I can do that quickly. And I've showed you how you can do that quickly. And the more that you do that, the less likely you're going to make a mistake. Because can we make a mistake?
Yeah, you can make a mistake, but the mistake is that if you were to put it into a percentage, the mistakes are very small. I can make them. I'm only human. I might see something and make a mistake, and I'll put my hands up and say, I messed up. But the rest of the time, I'm not going to make a mistake because I can only take what I see, and I only see now what you've told me to. So there's no guessing anymore at all.
Is there any reason why a journal would help you?
No, because all I would end up putting in that journal is the same thing if it was a bullish move or a bearish move, with the same damn thing for every screenshot. So I'm not going to learn anything from journaling anymore. Not that I did back then. I'm learning from a still chart, as you say. And that's where I practice. and it goes into the live market when you tell me I can.
And your opinions do not matter, right?
I don't care if it goes long or short.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but not their own facts. Are you trading on facts or are you trading on opinions? Do I give my opinions? Do I
No,
ever?
that's the weird thing is you don't say to me, I think we're going to go long. And then because you don't care and I don't care, as long as the chart, as long as the indice or whatever moves somewhere, then I'm going to capitalize on that. If it stays flat all day, I mean, yeah, I can zoom right in, but there's no guesswork and no idea or hunch or intuition. It's the same thing over and over again, repeated on a different day. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, sometimes it's, I suppose, wiki. Sometimes it's not. But it's always there, and it's quite, as I said, an overwhelming feeling because there's nothing stopping me in 6 weeks, 6 months applying for a 250K or a 300K funded account. And I know with what I know now that I can pass that. I would have to probably turn the price label off next to the trade and go to ticks or something because I'm not sure that I would be able to. I don't want to say hold, but the psychology with big numbers I'm not used to. I mean, yeah, we've all had 100K demo accounts and gone and hit it with 50 lots and made 10 grand and gone, I'm successful. But doing that live, maybe not. Think I might have to turn the ticks on for that one. But yeah, there's no reason why I can't do that. It's the same chart, it's the same patterns as it would be if it was $1. But that's where the psychology of, for me anyway, is big scary numbers. I don't think I'm ready for big scary numbers. I'll just stick with normal numbers for now. But no, there's no difference in the chart regardless of the amount that is traded. It's crazy just everywhere you look now. I mean, I'm going to find some more strange markets to look at. I don't know how it gets any weirder than hogs, but yeah, it's a lovely feeling to know that I'm not doing what everyone else is doing and failing, and that the projection of my future is coming much quicker than I thought.
What does that do for your mindset when you go to work during the day?
I don't want to go to work, man. I just want to trade.
We want to do that. We want to do that. I don't ever suggest anyone quitting their
No, I
their
know.
job for trading because this is a hobby for me and it's a passion of mine and always been a hobby and always will be. So, but for the other traders, just don't quit your job. I believe in that you should have two or three incomes,
Yeah.
you know, just for security in life. But each and every day, we can all work on a skill and become better, a better person, a better trader, better at everything in life. So, is there anything else you'd like to say, Martin, before we wrap this up?
No. I've just continued to practice, and I think what I'd like to do is do another video, progress video. It helps me visualize where I'm going. Also, anybody who's watching and following along will see the growth of my trading and where I'm at with it and what you have done to a miserably failed trader that is beaten down and couldn't take no more losing, and what happens when you go through the right education and the right program and where it can take you. So I think it's good to watch. I mean, I'm interested in my own progress, obviously, but for those who are at that stage of failing combines and failing assessments and keep trying and never want to give up, and they really don't want to give up, but they can't get it. I'm in your shoes, or I was in your shoes. I'm now stepping into another person's shoes, your shoes, in fact. I'm now stepping into Richard's shoes, and now I'm seeing where this takes me, and I've got a very high confidence in it now. So it's exciting stuff. It's exciting times. I don't know where I'm going, but I feel like I'm being pulled along in this direction for a reason, and I'm going to roll with it, It's
Well, we could talk about very bold, confident statements, and I believe in you. I just don't want you to set some standards really high, but I understand where you're coming from. I understand that you're seeing the market objectively, and I understand me as a person and me as a mentor who is teaching you objectively. And I believe in you. And if I believe in you, it'd be like me being a coach, a mentor, somebody with experience that does believe in someone. but I don't want your expectations to outweigh the progress. And I'm not saying that it is, not saying it is, but either way, I know that I am confident in you, and I do believe in you. When a mentor believes in any mentee, the sky is the limit, but it's going to take a while to get there. Don't rush it. And I wish you well, Martin, and study, and I will see you soon.
Take care. Thanks.
Take care, traders, and always remember, study hard.